Hey Geek, so I'm here in Vientiane, Laos, walking around, and I just thought I'd make a video about being Lao American. So I was born here in Laos, in a city called Savannakhet, which is actually one of the largest cities in Laos. If I'm not mistaken, it's actually, in terms of like area, it's larger than Vientiane, but it's not the most popular city compared to something like Vientiane. So there's a greater population in Vientiane. So that's where I was born, and I came to America when I was really young, less than 10 years old. And so most of my life, practically all of my life, has been as a American, but a Lao American. And now being back here in Laos, my birth country, it feels strange, because even though I am Laos, ethnic-wise, my culture still is Laos, but obviously, since I've lived in the United States most of my life, most of the culture that I have is American culture, and that's what happens to most immigrants. And if you're somebody who is similar to me, or maybe you weren't born in the country of your ethnicity, or your parents or your grandparents, then it could be a culture shock. And at least coming back here, my family in the US, they did do a really amazing job of speaking Laos to us, making sure that we can still understand most of our language. And I credit a lot of that to my mom in America, because she spoke Laos practically all the time. And both my parents, they did want us to have a lot of our Laotian culture and a lot of my extended family. And so I'm used to eating Laos food. We're used to going to Laotian tradition and stuff, festivals and things like that. But the most important thing was the language, and that's the one huge thing that I've noticed right away being here in Vientiane, Laos, is that language is very, very important. And I think for a lot of people who might be in a similar situation where they were born in America, but their parents weren't from there as immigrants, if you don't speak your native language or the native language before, obviously if you're born in America and that's the only thing that is your native language, but it makes a huge difference. And even though I could speak Laos, it's not the best, okay? And I cannot currently read or write in Laos, which is something I want to actually learn how to do that. But because I'm still able to speak my language, and a lot of what I did in America, my parents still, made sure that, we knew Laotian culture to a certain point, and that, we ate a lot of the same food. It made it, I would say, easier versus somebody who is completely in American culture, okay? So culture plays a big role, and so wherever you're at, your environment does play a huge role. So if you were an immigrant family, but you were raised in that culture of that country, then you're pretty much gonna be like a foreigner, okay? Like truly a foreigner, because whenever you come to different countries, you are not from this country, okay? Because there's so many different elements there. Even though ethnically you might be from that country, if your culture, your language especially, is not the same, it'll be a huge shock. And especially if you don't, really do a lot of what your native culture does, like the foods and customs and stuff like that. For me, I'm still learning a lot. I mean, there's a lot of differences here, a lot of nuances of Laotian culture. Even though I am Laos, I am Lao American. And I think it would take quite a while for me to actually get adjusted, because Lao people here, true Laos people, I kind of feel that they're way different from Laos American. We might be able to understand each other and eat the same food and stuff, but their daily lives, the family structure, the government, stuff like that, there's so many things that you really, at least for me, I won't understand unless I've lived here a lot longer. And as a Lao American, it does take a huge adjustment. But the one thing that I'm grateful for big time here in Laos is, besides the fact that I could still speak and understand most of my language here, is that I have a lot of family here, a lot of extended family, a lot of cousins, aunts, and uncles and stuff. And so that makes it a lot easier. And in most Asian cultures, family is a big thing. And I have a large family here. And even though they are my family, I don't know them and they really don't know me, okay? So there's only certain parts of my family that I'm close to here. But it is, once again, an adjustment. And in a lot of ways, you know, a culture shock even for me. But those are just some of my quick thoughts. You know, being back here in Laos as a Lao American, and I just wanted to share some of that with you. But I'm very happy and grateful to be here in Laos. But I do know that there's some huge differences between having an American culture and a true Lao culture. So if you actually had any thoughts on this, or maybe you're an immigrant American like myself, be sure to leave in the comments here below, and I'll see you on another episode.